Hey guys, David Patrick Green here, and I'm kind of laughing right now because I was just about to record this video and my phone started to shut down, it looked like, but as it turned out, it was a phone call coming through, and I saw on the title Fox Studios calling me, and I suddenly realized, oh my gosh, it's production and they're calling me for some reason. So as it turned out, they were calling me to ask me my sizes, because the reason I'm actually making this video, and I just want to see how I look, the reason I'm making this video is I want to tell you exactly how I booked my most recent professional job, which, as it turns out, is going to be on the biggest project I've ever been on. It's multi-$100 million picture. I can't disclose the name right now because as of now I haven't shot it yet, and it's one of those code name situations, but it's a very big movie with a lot of big name actors, sci-fi, one of the big franchise pictures. But anyway, it's really funny that they interrupted me. That's the first time I've actually heard from them. I wasn't even sure I had the part because it said upon studio approval, which means they've booked you, but you still might not have the part. So I'm actually in the Hilton Hotel right now. Hopefully you can't, never mind the messy bed. But anyway, I want to tell you exactly how I booked this job, because I teach a lot of stuff about acting tips and how to conduct yourself professionally. I have an entire system, hackhollywood.com, that thousands of actors have gone through, and I do individual private coaching, and I charge hundreds and hundreds of dollars an hour for that. But I just thought it'd be really helpful to hear from a professional actor how they booked one job, okay? So without covering my entire history, I'll just talk about this one single job. So on a Friday, I get a call from my agent at about 3 p.m. and they said, I feel like I'm going to be interrupted again because they haven't cleaned my room yet, but anyway, that's going to make me laugh some more. So as of 3 p.m. they said, you got a last minute audition for this project. It shoots in Montreal. They need something by 5. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And lesson there is that you need to have your skills available on a moment's notice, because even though there's a bunch of rules about how much time you're supposed to have for material, sometimes they don't have time. So what are you going to do? Call SAG? Call your union? No, you're going to do it, or you're just going to forego working. So I said, okay, whatever, because I'm kind of at the point where I'm comfortable, and I actually teach people to prepare 30-minute auditions in my audition course, 30-minute audition mastery. And so I said, okay, well, when I get the material, I'll get to work. Well, and then they said, in the meantime, send us your reel. And I'm laughing because, everybody talks about reels, but I've been a professional actor now for over 10 years, probably about 12 years now. And I have been asked for my reel a total of 2 times in 10, 12 years. But I've tried to force it on many people who didn't want to watch it. And anyway, it's funny. You find out that things aren't the way they always seem. So lesson number 1, nobody ever asks for your reel, but they asked for my reel. So I'm like, all right, let me see what I can dig up. And my agent couldn't find anything. I think I had something they couldn't get access to it. So I grabbed a bunch of clips that I had uploaded to YouTube. Then I found out that some of those clips had been flagged for copyright from networks, but I did have a few that were still good, but they were 10 years old. But anyway, I sent those off. And then I thought, where's the material? I haven't got anything yet. So I waited and waited and waited, and 8 p.m., and I sent a couple of emails. I sent one directly to casting, and I sent one to my agent. Have you heard anything? And they said, when you get the audition, send it directly to casting because they're still wrapped up in secrecy. So I did all of that, and finally at 8 p.m. I got material. So I thought, well, it can't be that urgent, and I have plans this evening, and obviously they're not in as much of a rush as they said they were, or maybe it's already cast, and they're just letting me go through the motions, which often happens. So I got up in the morning, had a couple of things to do, put something together, and I finally submitted it at 3 o'clock the Saturday after the call. Monday rolls around, I hear nothing. Of course, Sunday rolled around, I heard nothing. Monday rolls around, I hear nothing. Tuesday, I get a call from my agent. And oh yeah, I need to tell you that I wrote a note to the casting director when I submitted, because it's kind of loosey-goosey, and I felt the permission to be a little, because they asked me to contact casting directly, I decided to write a note to casting, not just here's my audition, which is what most people would do because they're scared they're going to upset people or they don't want to say the wrong thing. Well, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I want to make an impression. I want to make a funny, positive impression that lets them see a little bit about me. So I wrote them a note, and the note said, here's my audition for the material you requested. Amazing work. Wow. Just tell me what time the limo's coming around. Everybody's going to love working with me. Regards, David Patrick Green. So, it's kind of bold, it's kind of out there, but whatever. I don't even know these people, and they don't know me, so all they have is some material from, 10 years ago, and this audition, this really short audition that I really didn't feel that great about. So I thought, you know what, I'll let them see what I'm like, because this is going to help them know me for the future, on top of making an impression now that I am going to be fun to work with. So anyway, finally Tuesday rolls around, I get a call from my agent, and I said, uh-oh, what did I do? Because my agent only calls me, otherwise, she has her assistants call me. The only time she calls me is when I've done something terribly wrong or I've booked a job. And she goes, well, it looks like that little note of yours charmed them, because as it turns out, the role you auditioned for went away. They just removed it. But they liked you so much, they are going to book you for an entirely new part. And I'm like, wow, that is amazing. And then she said, okay, you're booked, but it's pending studio approval. So it's like one of those things, you're on hold, they want to put a pin in you. There's so many of these terms that the industry uses to basically keep actors on hold without actually paying them any money, which I'm completely against, but that's a whole different story. And anyway, so they said, okay, you've booked the job. Well, that was over a week ago. That was actually a week ago yesterday, and I haven't heard anything yet. So I'm telling people, yeah, I booked this job, and at the same time, I haven't heard anything until literally I was about to make this video, and I got the call from wardrobe saying, hey, we need to get your sizes. So I'm assuming at that point, even though I haven't heard anything, I have no material, I have no script, I have nothing, at least wardrobe thinks I'm working on this show, which I guess is a good thing. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know what it was like, what the process was like for my most recent booking, and how crazy and topsy-turvy the business can be, and how really the lesson to me is you've got to rely mainly on yourself. You're going to delegate things to certain people like agents and maybe lawyers and publicists down the road if you're really working a lot. But you need to be in charge, and be in charge of who you are and how you are represented to people. Now, people talk about branding, but when they talk about branding, all they talk about is, what kind of an actor are you? I'm a whatever, young dad, you're a military type, whatever. But really, who your brand is who you are as a person, which is not a brand. It's way too complex for any brand. A brand is Coca-Cola. It's made of sugar and caramel-colored syrup and fizzy water, and it's put in a red can with a logo. That's Coke, and that's their brand. It's lifestyle. But we are so much more complex than that, and so if you don't let people see what you're really like and insert your personality into things, especially when it's the opposite of what you're reading for, then they'll never know. And so in the future, when they're thinking of you, they'll think, okay, well, I just saw him for a military type. He didn't lead me to believe otherwise. So I guess, that's what he's all about, because they don't know. So it really is important to insert yourself whenever you can into everything you do. If you're doing a slate, but the role is serious, then maybe do a funny slate. You don't have to lock yourself into, I am the general and I will talk like this. Trust me, the people who have been working in the business for a long time understand that you are a person and what you play is something altogether different. Sometimes they're going to be very similar and sometimes they're going to be very different. But if you're really good at auditioning for whatever it is, they get that you're not necessarily that person. Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to let you know how some of this stuff can go and some of the details and some of the things you can add to increase your chances of booking, because clearly my little charming, funny note had an impact. And now I'm going to be working and I'm off to Montreal. It looks like they told me, looks like I'll be off next week. But by the time you see this, it could be this week or maybe last week. Anyway, hope this was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel. Please write and let me know if you found this helpful. Check out my website, hackhollywood.com. It needs a little work. I need to update it a little, but there's a ton of material there, and I'm here to help actors navigate this crazy business. And I want to do it in a way that nobody else does, which is straightforward and honest and empowering, because most of the information out there is completely unempowering, okay? All the stuff about what you should do for casting directors, what you should do on social media, what you should do for agents. I got to tell you, it's all wrong, completely wrong. And I know you can't believe that and it sounds crazy to hear, but if you want to be a professional actor, don't ask someone who's not a professional actor. If you want to be a doctor, do you ask a nurse? No, you ask a doctor. Do you ask a hospital administrator? No, you ask a doctor, okay? So I am a professional actor and I will tell you how to do it and empower yourself so you can do anything you want, whether it's in acting or anything else. All right, guys, subscribe, like me, do all that fun social media stuff. Share this with your friends, because if you know a professional actor or an aspiring professional actor, this will help them tremendously. I will talk to you later.